I generally don't really start these with a hello and more of just starting the video because you guys already know what the video is going to be about, so why not just get into it? Well, I'm not going to be talking much aside from everything that's going to be happening here, so I might as well give you guys something to talk about right now. So this is going to be about the Jojo timeline, everything that's happened from Phantom Blood to Stone Ocean. So parts come before others when it comes to time. Also, if you didn't know what CIRCA meant, it means roughly or around. For example, Attila of the Hun, it was born in circa 406 through 453, something like that. So we got everything down pat, everything. All right, you get it? Got it? Good. Circa 100,000 BC, you have the birth of Kars, antagonist of battle tendency and leader of the remaining 3 Pillarmen. Circa 90,000 BC, one of the 4 Pillarmen and Kars' right-hand man, AC/DC, was born, or ACDC, you can say whatever. Circa 50,000 BC, a meteor crashes on Earth found in Greenland. This meteorite is where the arrows come from. Circa 10,000 BC, another one of the 4 Pillarmen, known for blowing you away, Wamu, is born. Circa 8,000 BC, the Scooby-Doo of the Pillarmen is born, cause, you know, Kars called him a dog. Santana. Around that time, Kars creates the stone mask, and the other Pillarmen, or well, Pillar people of that time, fear what Kars is doing, so they try to kill him. That completely fails, and Kars and AC/DC kill the whole race except for 2 infants. Those infants being Wamu and Santana. Circa 3000 BC, the Pillarmen begin their search of the Red Stone of Asia, and around this time, the origins of Hamon began. All around this time also, Santana was left in Mexico, the original home of the Pillarmen, and the reason of that is in my description of Santana's birth. He was nothing but a guard dog to Kars, so he was left alone to go write some scriptures and some lore about the Pillarmen all over the walls and crap, and he's just alone for 2,000 years. Poor Santana, man. Circa 50 BC, the Pillarmen begin their 2,000-year slumber after believing that they had destroyed the Hamon clan, or well, they destroyed a good portion of them. I guess there's some sole survivors in there. Now we finally get to AD! In the year 39, the Hell Climb Pillar was created to revive Hamon. Well, they did a pretty good job, didn't they? In the 12th century, there was a rise of an Aztec tribe that began using the stone masks with all sacrifices and all that. That place that seemed like it was Kars' was built by Albrecht Gelser, a Habsburg bailiff, Habsburg being one of the most influential royal houses in Europe. The place was before Gessler was defeated by William Tell, and Iraqi does really go down into history. I learned more in JoJo than actual history class, probably because it involves vampires, fighting spirits, and cyborg Nazis. Circa 1480, Caravanserai creates the sword that the stand Anubis was bound to, and around that time, he dies and leaves Anubis without any user, so the stand is being passed on to the next guy. Or well, the trend of passing it to the next guy begins, because you know how Anubis gets around. Circa 1565, Mary Stuart and her knights Tarkus and Bruford are killed. Circa 1783, Mikitaka is born, or well, that's at least what he says. I'm on the side where it says that he's actually a human with an odd stand, but I believe that aliens are very much possible in JoJo, so who knows, maybe he is an alien. 1827, the father of the devil is born, Dario Brando. Or Dario Brando, I don't know how to say it without rolling it. 1838, William Zeppeli is born. Jeez, he's actually like pretty old. 1858, Zeppeli's father wears the stone mask and transforms to a vampire. He murdered the 58 members of his archaeological university group except for his son, William Zeppeli. 1860, Zeppeli meets the Hamon doctor and it leads him to going to Tom Petty to become an apprentice. October 16th, 1863, Robert E.O. Speedwagon is born. Appreciate Speedwagon. Be like Speedwagon. Straitso is also born this year, and this is also the year that Zeppeli learns about his fate in the future. 1867, the plot pusher, lady killer, and a god to many is born. William Goodenough. Sometimes he feels like he was never actually good enough. And no, wait, no, this is a typo. Dio Brando is born. April 4th, 1868. A man that was ahead of his time and deserved to live a better life was born. Jonathan Joestar. God bless his soul. This is also the same year that Mary Joestar buys the stone mask and dies in a carriage accident where Dario Brando tries to steal some stuff, but instead, he's a hero and now George Joestar is in debt to him. What a smart guy. Dyer and Zeppeli also become great friends here too. And Dario gets out of jail because George Joestar and him being complete scum has a possibility of passing down to his kid just flies right over George's head. So much trust to him for no reason whatsoever. What a Joestar, man. George buys Jonathan a dog when Jonathan is 5, not getting along at first, but this dog saves Jonathan from drowning in a river and they become the best of friends. This dog grows up to be Danny, and I hate Dio so much in Phantom Blood, but it's about that time. 1880, Phantom Blood begins. Let's get this sad story started. Starting off in Phantom Blood, you get the death of Dario Brando, thank God, but now this is where the Joestar life will take a turn for the worse. 1881, Jonathan meets Arena by getting mollywopped in front of her and her not running away. Why do you not run away? He's getting beat up. It's either you join in or you dip out. That's like the common rules of fighting. Dio is adopted by George Joestar. Amazing. Arena also moves to India because of her father, and then you get the death of the best character in JoJo, Danny Joestar. Oh yeah, you get a lot of these. 1888. This is the start of JoJo showing you how long it is. So let's try to hit these back to back. Jonathan reads Dario's letter, Dio and him tussle, Jonathan goes to Ogre Street, he meets Speedwagon and his gang, and now they're all posseed up. Jack the Ripper becomes a famous murderer. Dio becomes a vampire, George Joestar dies by jumping in the way and the police not shooting Dio fast enough. The policeman died too, and the George Manor is lit all the way up by the fight between Dio and Jonathan. 4 days later, Jonathan and Arena look at each other for a really long time and Speedwagon withdraws coolly. Wang Chan becomes a zombie and Dio escapes the ashes of the Joestar Manor. They didn't include this in the anime. Dio changes Jack the Ripper into a zombie and now Jack the Ripper works for him. Jonathan meets Zeppeli in that morning and starts to learn Hamon. After a week, Jonathan learns the Zoom Punch, and another week later, Wang Chan gets folded like an omelet. They also didn't include this in the anime either. December 1st, Jack the Ripper dies to the beat of Jonathan's blood. In one night, Zeppeli dies, Bruford dies, Tarkus dies, Doobie dies, Dyer dies, and Dio's original body is burned up by Hamon. Oh yeah, then you have also one of the best moments in JoJo happen, which was Jonathan's Sunlight Yellow Overdrive. That's undisputed, don't even argue it. Somewhere in December, a baby is born, and that baby is Lisa Lisa. 1889. February 2nd, Jonathan and Arena get married. February 3rd, Jonathan and Arena go to America to celebrate their honeymoon. February 7th, Jonathan Joestar dies. I'm not crying, you are, shut up. February 9th, Arena and Lisa Lisa are saved. Later on, Speedwagon, Straight So, Arena, and Lisa Lisa take this picture sometime. George Joestar is also born later on. 1910, Speedwagon makes the Speedwagon Foundation. May 13th, 1918, Mario Zeppeli laid an egg and he had a son named Caesar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how that works. September 27th, 1920, Joseph Joestar is born in London. 1921, Joseph's dad, George, dies and his mom, Lisa Lisa, kills a zombie that kills George and disappears with the help of the Speedwagon Foundation. Joseph had both parents for a year and then boom, they're gone like that. Appreciate what you guys have. It could be gone in an instant. 1928, Mario Zeppeli dips out on his family, including 10-year-old Caesar. You see what I said, Caesar? In an instant, like that. Circa 1933, Joseph, age 13, saves Speedwagon with the power of breathing. 1933, the Nazis find the Pillarmen in Rome. Circa 1934, Dragon's Dream user Kenzo is born. 1935, Mario Zeppeli is absorbed by cars because of Caesar. Caesar, I said appreciate, not get him killed. God, man. 1938, another year of a lot happening, and we have to go back to back, so let's get it. Joseph and Arena move from London to New York, battle tendency begins, Straight So becomes really emo and kills some Speedwagon employees and almost kills Speedwagon. Joseph meets Smokey, a character that we never see after battle tendency. Joseph and Arena find out that Straight So had killed a lot of people and supposedly Speedwagon, and Straight So starts coming for Joseph. Joseph also pulls up with a Tommy from nowhere and busts all over Straight So and then Hamon stuff and then kills Straight So. Santana wakes up from a really long nap, the beginning of Stroheim, the end of Stroheim. Santana is beat by Joseph and being sent to Speedwagon HQ to be studied under UV lights, and we never get any information about Spillerman. How about that? 1939, January 30th, the beginning of the rebirth of Hamon versus the Pillarman and Mark. The ending of Mark, and Caesar also gets folded. Joseph gets engaged to two giant men and has 33 days to get ready for his wedding. 2 days later, Joseph meets his mom that isn't his mom yet. A day later, Joseph and Caesar start climbing the Hell Climb pillar created to revive Hamon. Who knows? Oh wow, it actually did its job. 4 days later, they finally get out. How did they not starve down there astounds me. I'm guessing that Hamon works like photosynthesis too, since they don't have to eat that often. 61 hours later, they start training with Loggins and Messina for about 3 weeks. You will forget about these two guys. 7 days left, Caesar and Joseph find out that Lisa has the Redstone of Asia. It was different in the manga. Yeah, so this is going to be another period where we're just going to zip by these because there is a lot. The next day, AC/DC dies, but then he sends the stone to Cars. Hamon gang leaves to Italy but gets confronted by Nazis. Cars finds Nazis and kills Nazis except for one. Stroheim is alive, he's a cyborg now. The next day, Caesar dies to Wamu because he was cocky. There's no sugarcoating that. There was many ways to kill Wamu and Caesar picked the dumbest one. The next day after that, Joseph and Wamu participate in the greaseball run and have a race around the Coliseum while trying to kill each other. Wamu and Joseph play rock, paper, scissors. Wamu picks air scissors and Joseph uses fire in the spirit of a dead friend. Wamu dies. Cars versus Lisa. Cars uses Shadow Clone Jutsu and cheats because they were playing tag and Lisa was it. Cars strums Lisa's leg like an electric guitar while those haven't even been created yet. Tell me how that makes sense, please. Cars becomes the ultimate life form and it's Ultimate Cars versus Joseph. So what do? They play rock, paper, scissors again. Cars picks scissors and Joseph doesn't pick because he thought he had already won. Scissor wins. Cars picks endless supply of power in the shape of paper, and Joseph picks rock. Rock wins. Joseph remarries with some girl named Susie Q since both of his fiancés are dead. 1942. I know. A lot has happened from 1938 through 1939, but this year, Holly Joestar is born. Now isn't that great? 1943, Stroheim dies on the Stalingrad front. Well, circa 1945, Josuke's grandfather is born. 1948, Lisa remarries and Arena dies in 1950. Speedwagon dies 2 years later in 1952. And in 1957, Daniel J. Darby is born. Circa 1962, Josuke's mom Tomoko is born. 1964, Anjuro is born in Morio, or Angelo, the user of Aqua Necklace, so you guys know him easier. 1965, Diavolo's mom is sentenced to jail for 10 years in an all-female prison, and in that same year, Jean-Pierre Polnareff is born in France. 1966, the killer of queens is born, Yoshikage Kira. And in the summer of 1967, Diavolo is born in an all-female prison. You tell me what doesn't add up. Holly and Jotaro's dad that we literally never see get married also. Circa 1967, Remy Sugimoto is born, and Green Day's user Chocolata is also born in this same year. January 5th, 1968, Talent T. Darby is born. Oh, in 1969, Kenzo, Dragon Dreams user again, kills 34 people. That's a huge whoops. Now, guys, there's a lot more. We still have parts 3 through 6 left, basically. I could go over more, but this is a pretty good stopping point for now, since we went from 100,000 BC to 1969 AD. So that's a lot of time. If you guys want to keep going on with the timeline, make sure that you show your support for it, because likes and comments are a specific thing on the video. It lets me know that you guys like said video and I don't drop it, basically. But hopefully you guys are informed, and I didn't include the 77 ring stuff from Phantom Blood because I wasn't sure that if you guys even knew what that was or even wanted me to talk about it. I'll leave a poll for you guys to know, like, what's your thoughts on it, if I should make a separate video on the 77 rings. And there's probably going to be more in the poll also, but basically you get the gist of it. I'll see you guys in the next one though. So until then, peace out and Godspeed.